All righty, Connor Burke joining me. Howdy, buddy.
Howdy, friend.
Howdy. Did I just go Nashville on us there or something? 4,337 here
It's
at the
appropriate for a
Progressive
rodeo.
Right. Wow. Did we just take a left turn? I don't know. No, and fantastic turnout to see. And I know I've said it. I'll keep saying it. The Sarnia Sting fans, Connor, have stood behind this team. They are zealots to this team.
It's awesome to see. Like, as soon as I sat down, I'm like, oh, this is a busy one. Like,
Yeah.
shoulder to shoulder. Like, there's no empty seats beside you. It's awesome. Everyone's here to see Ben. And
Well, it's part of what hockey's all about there, right? You know, and 3-0. 3-0.
with one overturned.
Right. Yeah, right. And that was interesting. It's been, but I got to tell you, all three of these goals, like Tyson Doucette in there, the first one. Beautiful shot from the left-hand side over the top corner of Gibbons, right, who I don't think, we definitely didn't see that one coming.
No.
That was a beautiful goal.
Couldn't have painted a better picture than that. Everyone's been rocking.
That's the TSN one that they were looking for, I think. We talk about.
I might have liked Doherty's backhand better. That was an absolute
Well,
beauty.
and two in a row, right?
Within the span of 20 seconds, I
Right.
think. Like,
He's looking at a hat trick now. It's got to be on his mind going in that locker room.
100%. I think it's everyone else's mind, too.
Can that be a problem, though? You know, like, are you I think he was in the right place, right time, playing his position, you know. And now it's on the mind. Like, how could it not be?
Well,
but does
I'm
that
sure.
interfere with what you should be doing out there?
I
Is
don't
it a
think so.
distraction?
I think they'd find a way to calm it down, and like plenty of time, and you don't want to speak too early, but being up like this it's good, and it gives them a good feeling.
Yeah.
Don't want to settle down, but if you just keep pushing, I'm sure you might end up with an empty netter if that's what it comes down to. Like,
Right. Well, all three of these goals beautiful. Erie did have one in there, and it was overturned for interference, right?
I was shocked. Yeah, it was goalie interference.
Were you shocked that it was overturned?
I don't think I was shocked at the call. We don't seem to get too many of those, and they seem to be on the bad end of the refs' calls. So it was awesome to see. Like anytime there's a review, it seems as it's always not going our way. But
yeah.
well, we did.
Billy Yurchuk and I talked pregame, and we talked about when we saw Felak taken out and other players, and there was a lot of fights and blah blah blah. There was a ton of stuff going on, and I brought it up pregame. I'll bring it up again. Hi, how are you? Oh, yeah, come here. Yeah, come here. I'll just say hi. Hi to Bonnie Werschler. I won't put you on camera if you don't want to be. I'm glad you said hello, though. Oh, that's sweet. You're cute.
Thanks.
You're like the grandchild she never had. That's Bonnie Werschler.
That's awesome.
My good friend Ryan's mother. Ryan's in Jamaica. Hey, buddy, Jamaica man. I talked about it with Billy Yurchuk about that officiating, and post-game, I don't know if you saw it with Al Latang, and right in the beginning there, he said, yeah, we overcame a lot of frustrations, dealt with horrible officiating. You don't hear the coaches say that too often, and we talked about a coach like Al Latang, who's typically very calm. He doesn't yell at the referees, but if he says something, it's kind of like E.F. Hutton, everybody listens. You know?
That's right, yeah.
Do you agree with his statement that game we're referring to was horrible officiating?
I don't think there's any other way to put it. It was awful. And then Moses ended up with a 2-game suspension out of it.
Yeah.
And you're wondering what happens. Like, someone has to be accountable, but I don't know who.
Yeah, I don't know how that goes. I'm not privy to that at all, but I think most are agreeing that was a difficult game to deal with. And, when you have things like that happening, you can't really cry about it too much in the moment, right? You can just keep going, right?
That's what are you going to do? You got to look in the rear view. You're going to focus on that and then get mad at the ref and take another penalty. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. They're not going to change their mind.
Yeah.
They never have. They never will. So
yeah, that's right.
You got to beat two teams sometimes.
Right. Benny Gaudreau being honored here tonight. Of course, he part of the Erie Otters, but we kind of talked like there was a pro and a con to that tonight. He was here being honored. Were you one of the ones chanting his name out there?
I had a little chant going. Yeah, you could hear it going.
Yeah,
Kind of got interrupted by Josh Boyce there a little bit, but that was all right.
It was going, and just nice to see when even when the Sarnia Sting, they trade off players or whatever. When they are here, it's kind of an official goodbye, but thank
Yeah.
you kind of thing. You like seeing that stuff?
I love to see it. I mean, he's been here since his rookie season, and like they said, over 100 starts, and he took us to the farthest we've ever been in the playoffs. So how can you not? How can you not give him a good standing ovation?
Right, and one of the things about Ben Gaudreau that a lot of people may not know, the players do a lot going out in the community. They're kind of told you have to go here and do this. There was a lot of times he showed up at the little kids' hockey games. He just went out on his own time, not being told, and just showed up, and then went out on the ice and helped at practice. And he really wanted to support. And I got to know him over a few years that he was here, especially last year, and just a great guy. He never ran away from an autograph. He was always willing to give his time. So
the amount of times you saw him on the concourse, that was awesome.
Yeah, 100%, right?
Talking
So Benny, congratulations, buddy, and we do miss you. That being said, we're kind of glad he's not in goal tonight.
Very much so. It's a great turnaround. Yeah, he might have been able to shut the door, but it sucks to see him in a boot like that.
Yeah. Well, we wish you all the best. So, really just seemed like this hockey club was strong and organized here in this first period. There wasn't a lot happening in the corners, I noticed, right? And that's always been a weakness of ours.
No, yeah, definitely. I think this team's kind of small too, so that they might be a little shy of physical confrontation as well. But that works out for us. If they don't want to play that game, then they've been playing right up the middle, and it looks good on them. Yeah,
right. Well, coming out in the second period, though, like the first period is always the one that kind of sets the tone for the game in any hockey game. And now Erie's got to be in the locker room, being ahead of us by 7 points. We really need this win against them, and we're talking playoff time. But they've got to be in the locker room knowing that they're ahead of this club going, WTF, what just happened?
Oh, I'm sure they're shaking their heads. Yeah, they're getting a good talking to. The coach didn't look too happy with the overturned goal either. He was certainly looked a little frustrated, so I'm sure he's has a couple words to say to him at the very least.
Yeah, I'm not much of a lip reader, but I caught a couple words, right?
Some you can't say on
right,
on
when they put it on the screen there, I'm always looking and go, ooh.
Gosh darn.
Wow. Yeah, gosh darn it all anyway. Mother, father, right? That's just, but I think, I would have been a frustrated coach right there too. Like that was it like, it could have went either way.
It definitely could have went either way, but, I'm not going to complain.
It's not
nice
at all.
To see
of course
go
you're
our
not.
Way.
You never complain about the refs when it's in your favor.
That's
We've
right.
talked about that.
I think we deserve it eventually.
Yeah. I thought he was going to have a heart attack on the bench for a moment.
He was definitely frustrated.
And the referees just shrug and skate away.
Like I said, they're never going to change their mind.
That's right. But Billy Yurchuk, who former referee, I don't know if you caught that, he mentioned, though, there's times when, go back to Al Letang. I have so much respect for Al Letang. Just as a person, he's very philosophical, and he just has a positive mindset and has brought that to this team. I mentioned that many times because it's true. But he's calm, and it's kind of like, but if he does yell at you, wow.
Whoops,
we really screwed up here, right? When you're a coach that, do I want to say old school?
Yeah.
The yelling and the whatever. Referees just, I think they go away and they go, okay, buddy. And then the next time you really need something.
It's like the boy who cried wolf, right?
Right.
You bark and you bark and you bark and you get your answers, and then finally it's like, well, you've done it quite a few times.
Yeah.
Maybe this time I might ignore you.
Yeah, and I get it. There's frustration out there, but the lead by example for me comes to mind. Billy Yurchuk mentioned, if you're yelling like that, that just sends to the bench. That's how we behave.
Everybody's feeding off that kind of energy.
Yeah, and that can hurt a team.
Contagious, for better or worse.
Right. Yeah. Good way to put that, Connor. Right on. So, I mean, is there any? Do you got any tips for the Sarnia Sting that they come out second gear? Do we need to hit the vertical pedal on the right a little bit more, or hey, Lance?
I would like to see the same thing. Just other than that goal, which I don't even know if that was their fault. It just kind of slipped through, but. Just stay on the right track, keep the pucks to the outside, and keep the shots low, and I don't see how you could go wrong. But you know how much the game changes.
But do you do the exact same thing? Because if you do the exact same thing, doesn't the other team see you coming?
Well, maybe if they have a very visible plan. But I think it's just good shutdown hockey. Sometimes you can't beat it, even if you know what's coming. you get pushed to the outside, you get frustrated, and you just can't penetrate the offensive zone sometimes. It works. Sometimes it works.
Yeah, a lot of structure out there tonight. From
Definitely.
like that's something that certainly the games we've lost, that was lacking 100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not just an obvious point. That was it was drastically obvious when this team was losing, right? A lot of players off here tonight. Owen McDonald's going to be off for a while.
Yep.
Kuchenberg's gone back to Europe.
Yep. Sadly.
Fila. Were you a fan of Kuchenberg?
I was actually, yeah. That was
What
sad
did you
to
like
see.
about him?
I thought he would maybe be able to put up a couple more goals, but that's all right. It was his rookie year, and I'd like to see him come back. But I think did he get homesick or?
I honestly speculation at this time. He wasn't playing a lot of hockey. Heard maybe homesick blues kind of thing, which I get.
Yep, 100%. Like these guys they're kids and they're moving across the seas. Like that's a long drive from home.
Maybe it was a career life choice. Who knows? I said, you know what? Maybe not.
Maybe development-wise, yeah.
Yeah, it could be. So I don't think we'll ever really know the answer to that one. 3-0 right now, once again, though, for your Sarnia Sting. And, of course, we will be live post-game. We're also going to be live on tomorrow. Pre-game, we'll be broadcasting from the Sarnia Sting Hall of Fame here at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. We're going to have 4 of the Hall of Fame inductees, and Lee Cunningham will lead the questions there as well. Pardon me. So we'll be broadcasting that. It'll show up about around 5-ish. That's what I can tell you. So be sure to be watching on the Sarnia Sting fan page and my page as well to catch that broadcast. Do you have, like Bill Abercrombie here for many, many years now, he's put in that Hall of Fame. He's been a big part of not just Sarnia Sting hockey, but OHL hockey as well.
Mm-hmm. Certainly, yeah. And I see him around the arena. Yeah, it's good to see him.
He's still around here, and he's still got his toes in it, right? He really supports a lot of hockey. So congratulations, Bill, on your retirement and into the Hall of Fame as well. So keep an eye out there. We'll be posting who's going to be here, and you'll be able to watch that live as well. Post-game, of course, coming up in the restaurant. Never know who's showing up for that one. I got to tell you, the one that surprised me, like normally when we don't have a successful game, we get a coach or Dylan Seeker or somebody. Right. And when we won that shootout game, Coach Letang showed up, and we were like, oh. And I almost feel like in that, because of what happened through that game, I feel like he wanted to say something. I think he was like, I'm going to do this press conference, even though he does it all the time.
Hoping maybe someone.
And maybe he just had I'm going up there to say something. So kudos to the coach for that. All right, 3 minutes away before the Sarnia Sting come back out here. 3-0, and hopefully we hold on to that insurance right now. We'll find out. Lee Baisley will join me at the second period intermission, but that's it for now. Connor, thanks for coming in, stepping in and giving your words, buddy. Live from the Sarnia Sting concourse with the Sarnia Sting, I'm David Burrows, and this is my friend Connor Burke. 1, 2, 3, go Sting, go!